Donald Trump got his bluff called by the Iranian government, and it looks like it's time to sit down for peace talks. This Montana White with Culture Shock, hip hop, money, power, and politics. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now because, man, it's going to get deep. You feel me? Now, Donald Trump, who addressed the nation this morning and the world, talked about how Iran has backed down. That's right, Iran backed down. And he's saying this because Iran, who launched a dozen missiles at United States air bases, right? Air bases located in Iraq, that's United States property. Iran shot missiles at them. And Donald Trump claims this morning that they're lucky that there were no American casualties. At the same time, his warning of any kind of retaliation over the killing of the general from Iran will be met with the harshest consequences. Yes, he had 52 sites, even religious and cultural sites that are important to the country. He said if they did anything, he would knock Iran off the map, right? Well, the Iranian government, they didn't heed that, right? Iraq, which voted unanimously to send all American troops out the region, right? They don't want no parts of this because when bombs start falling, it's not the Americans that's going to get killed. It's the Iraqi people that's going to get caught up in the middle, and it's going to be the towns, the cities, the supplies. The people in Iraq are going to get hurt because of America's meddling in the Middle East. Well, Iran, they didn't back down. They shot the missiles off and they blew up 2 of those bases. And they said, luckily, no lives are lost on the American side. So Trump this morning, he addressed the nation and he said, after his boast, that Iran is standing down, even though it's like they swung and they missed. So now they going to sit back and America doesn't have to retaliate because the punch missed and nobody got hurt, right? So Trump, in his address, right, which he read from a teleprompter because he didn't go off the script that was written for him, right? He didn't improvise at all. Trump went on to say in his address that somehow, since he's become president, America now produces more oil than any other country in the world, right? America now produces more oil than any other country in the world, and we are not dependent on foreign oil. Well, it was like saying, and we started this, but it's about oil, but it's not about oil because now, all of a sudden, we produce more oil than anybody in the world. So if y'all think this strike was about oil, y'all wrong, right? It was like admitting you stole something, but you didn't steal it because you already got it. You feel what I'm saying? Now, after this, I don't know if it's true or not, but it sounds incredibly weird that all of a sudden America produces more oil than anybody in the world, right? Now, after he said, y'all swing back if y'all do anything, I'm going to blow y'all off the map, and then they did retaliate, the headline on the news was Iran stands down, and that's not true. If you hit me and I retaliate, that's not standing down. You feel me? But they'll say Iran stand down because there were no American casualties. And they also went on to say on CNN that the White House thinks that the Iranian government intentionally missed any Americans. Like they shot bombs at places that they knew no Americans were at. And that stands for them. That's the definition of them standing down. Now, I'm not a party member. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm a black man in America. I'm a convicted felon in America, right? And as I watched Donald Trump stand there at the podium and address the world, because he said something like, we want the Iranians to have a great future. We want them to live great lives, as if America is the decision maker on the happiness of people in other countries, right? I watched Donald Trump and I said to myself, this is how it's done, right? They call him a terrorist because the other guy or other people because innocent lives are lost, right? But at the same time, America will strike at a target and kill innocent people too. So it's like, okay, One terrorist talking about another terrorist, and one terrorist saying, well, I'm not a terrorist because I'm fighting on our behalf, which is the behalf of the American people. While inside America, black people are being terrorized by the government, the system, the financial system, the job system, the police. It's like the judicial system. Every system in America was built or formed without us in mind to be equal to have equal standings inside the system, right? So we always fighting to get a fair shake in one of these systems. If it's the judicial system, we just want to go to court and get tried like anybody else. Don't give me 50 years and then give somebody else probation. You feel what I'm saying? And if it's the healthcare system, stop experimenting on us. It's black women. I read a report that black women are in more grave danger than any other race of women and having babies. Like, black women die at the hospital having babies because doctors don't believe that black women can feel the pain that other races can feel, right? It's just like, how does an African American digest the speech that Donald Trump gave this morning while living in America? And then you have to ask yourself about the armed forces. Like, how do black people or brown people in the armed forces feel about fighting for liberty for other countries, but at the same time, man, you got to come home and fight for your own liberty? At some point, it's even hard to get a loan to move into a neighborhood that you want to move into because they won't even loan you the money to do it. So we fighting for somebody who gives a damn about us. You feel me? And when I look at it, I see a terrorist talking about other terrorists. And the crazy part is, Iranians have never done anything to black people, not American black people that I know about. Well, if a black person did get caught up in some kind of Iranian warfare, that meant they was on the side of the American military, and that's just what war is. As I watch all of the minority people get shipped around the world, man, to defend these corporations, to defend these oil companies, and so on and so forth, right? I wonder how, and I wonder what they think when they come home and they watch the news and they see a cop has killed another unarmed black man. Is this the liberty that we fighting for, or because I'm not, are they fighting for the profits of major corporations and the stockholders that own them? You know what I mean? Now, Trump, whose bluff has been called, right? Because Iran did launch a military strike at American property, right? Trump has to go back and sit down and reevaluate his standing. And guess what? Since there's not going to be a war, let's talk about this impeachment situation. Once again, hey, yo, this Montana White with Culture Shock, hip hop, money, power, and politics, man. If there's anything you want to correct me on, I'm here just to see, just to learn. You feel me? Let's get this conversation out to the world and to the streets, because sometimes it's almost like I'm watching the news, but I'm watching the news on a different place. I'm watching the news in Atlanta, I'm watching CNN World News, but it's not covering what's going on in the African American community. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, man. You can agree or you can disagree. I agree both ways, man. Montana White, I'm out.